Well, good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. We thank you for joining us here on Next Weather. If you're watching us on Facebook, be sure to put your name in the comment section. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Have the comments pulled up here that I can take a look at and see. Tell you what, we got a lot to cover today. In fact, we have some information from our last weekend severe weather, an update on the tornado report from Summerdale. This is the Summerdale tornado that occurred. We'll take a look at that and have the map pulled up here. We'll look at our current weather near term. It's looking fine. And long range mischief in the forecast models gathering attention. So a lot to talk about. We'll break it down. Thank you so much for joining us here. Next Weather. Let's start by discussing that Saturday tornado that occurred in Summerdale. This is one of a handful of occurred in our area. Here is the official preliminary tornado report from the National Weather Service in Mobile. They have been out. This was an EF1 tornado with peak winds of 9 miles per hour. Take this full screen so you can see it. Peak winds of 95 miles per hour, path length of 2.38 miles. Maximum width, though, only 50 yards. This occurred December 29th, so that is that early Sunday morning, that Saturday night, 12:47 a.m. to 12:50 a.m., so a short-lived tornado as well. It touched down near a home on Northeast 7th Street, which it caused damage to that home there. You can see the path in red. Very narrow path, limited damage, but that is where that home is, and it did impact that home before going about 100 yards maybe south of County Road 36 and paralleling County Road 36, 1247, 1248. Then eventually took a turn to the northeast as it crossed Baldwin Beach Express. There's an RV park at the corner of County Road 36 and Baldwin Beach Express. We had an overturned RV there. This tornado did cause some damage, some tree damage, and shifted a few RVs and mobile homes off their foundation. Thankfully, the damage was not worse there, and it was limited because this is a very small tornado. Then it's possible that the tornado lifted after it crossed Baldwin Beach Express and then approached kind of some metal outbuildings on County Road 38 and that Stewart Drive that you see there at the very end of the path. There it caused damage before lifting in the field right behind that. So this is again a weaker tornado that probably lifted at some points, but did cause some damage in spots. So the National Weather Service did rate it EF1, and I'll tell you the two places where it earned that EF1 rating at the beginning and end of its life cycle. It seems that in the middle of its life cycle, it was actually a weaker tornado. So some interesting stuff there meteorologically on how that evolved, also to see the curve and the path of the tornado. But you see a very narrow path, likely lifted at some points along its journey as it crossed Baldwin Beach Express and then moved to the east of Baldwin Beach Express. That again occurred 12:47 to 12:50 on December 29th. More tornado reports are out there. Working on getting the maps built for those, and we'll be releasing those on social media as we go over the next season, also on fox10tv.com. So be sure to follow us, updated with us, because we will be releasing those, and you can actually take a look at the past yourself. Also, the National Weather Service in Mobile does have a summary that you can look at on their website as well. All right, switching gears, we're going to talk about our local forecast. Huge trough of the eastern United States. My goodness, you see that swooping curve there, flow out of the northwest right now. Things are dry for us, a very, very, very seasonable day. Our temperatures are actually very close to average. Look across the nation, you look way up north, and not way up north, you do see some very cold air that is building up. And in fact, let's just zoom over. Ooh, we're almost breaking my colors on the map. It's like going into the purples and stuff. That's numbers that are 40 below zero up in Canada, pushing 50 below zero. So some very cold air up there associated with something that's called the polar vortex, silly name, and it's kind of a a dramatic name. Essentially, that is the jet stream will rotate around the North Pole. It's essentially around the North Pole the entire time. So if this is the pole, there's your jet stream that's going around it. That jet stream keeps all the cold air up there. So spinning area of cold air near the North Pole. Well, sometimes when that jet stream gets disrupted, it dislodges an area of cold air and sends it south. That's actually what's going to happen next week. So we're going to talk about how it happens coming up in just a bit. Right now we are quiet. There's a look across the region. Sunny sky, temperatures right around 60 degrees. Looking good out there. Forecast highs over the next few days. We get a front that passes dry Friday. So Saturday you see our temperatures are slightly cooler. Sunday morning a warm front passes. Warm front will bring warm air in. Therefore we have warm temperatures on Sunday afternoon with a chance of showers as well. Then Sunday night, a cold front comes again. So a lot of fronts. Cold front comes again Sunday night. That knocks our temperatures way, way down. Morning lows will drop into the 20s. Highs will be in the 50s or low 50s, maybe even 40s in some spots. It's going to be a very cold picture then, well below average. Rain chances. Let's talk about how this happens with our Sunday night rain chance. That's the main one that pushes our line of storms through, line of rain through, and then eventually pushes in cold air. You see, Saturday night into Sunday, chances start to ramp up, with the main event being I almost said squall, the line of thunderstorms, the line of rain showers that'll come through Saturday night. It'll be a broken line of storms, at least that's what we're seeing at this point with the forecast models. Then that clears out quickly, and then Monday, there you go, we are clear skies, colder temperatures. What about severe threat? Let's talk about that a little bit. Here's the setup, and you can actually see how this works. If a warm front that passes, as that warm front passes, it could bring in some more moist, humid air. However, the limiting factor with this storm is that, well, not going to be a lot of instability. There's not going to be a lot of moisture return, or at least there's going to be limited moisture return, limited push of instability to fuel those storms. What does that mean? That means that, yes, we'll have some thunderstorms around, but they may not have the same they had with the round of storms that we had previously. In fact, it's not even close. So we can have some thunderstorms, but right now our severe weather risk is low. We'll keep an eye on it over the next few days and see if anything evolves, see if the forecast models trend towards more instability. But right now our thinking is Sunday night, we just have a line of rain shower, broken thunderstorms that rolls through here. And then that cold air quickly moves in behind that. Look at that. We go chilly very fast, and we clear out quickly on Monday. Then we go to the long-range forecast where we have cold temperatures. Look, the entire eastern United States, below normal temperatures are expected. Now, some of you have seen this. Let's kind of let it play out here. This is a forecast model, the GFS, that's a Gulf low developing after we get our cold air next week. Get our cold air, right? We're in the highs in the right around 50 degrees, lows in the 20s. And then we get a low pressure system develops in the Gulf of Mexico, possibly. This forecast model actually tries to bring an area of precipitation, some of it would be freezing rain, to portion of our area, northern portions of our area. That's Thursday into Friday of next week. And I caution you here, let's look at a different forecast model. This is the European forecast model on Thursday. And you do not see anything there. There is actually no evidence of that Gulf flow at this point. I'll start to get it. This forecast model decides that it will develop a Gulf flow, but later when we're slightly warmer. So this is a change from earlier. If you were watching earlier on Fox 10 News, I actually said the European's completely out of this solution, not even going to mention rain chance. Now, the European does mention a rain chance, and it is a rain chance. This is later behind the GFS. This is Saturday, where it includes our rain chance there. So what are we doing with our forecast? Well, let's take a look at it. I'm going to skip the 7-day and go straight to the 10-day. So you see on Thursday, we start to incorporate that very small 10 to 20% chance of rain. It is right now unlikely that we see any form of wintry precipitation. And in fact, it's just too early to tell really what's going to go on. Right now, we're focusing on more of a dry forecast, leaning more towards that European solution of a weaker system that rolls through here, doesn't give us much at all in the way of rain. But we might change that forecast in the coming days. It is very difficult to get wintry precipitation down here on the Gulf Coast. very difficult. The WFS solution does show the one scenario where it kind of happens there, especially in our interior areas. So we're going to keep an eye on it. But right now, there's no need to be sharing stuff about snow, freezing rain. We just don't know yet, and doesn't seem very likely at this point. Our focus should be around a thunderstorm Sunday night means cold air coming our way next week. So that's the main forecast focus here on Next Weather.